Morning. It's a Sunday morning. It's noon. It's 12:01 my local time right now, and we got a rare 11:35 start for baseball today. Orioles in the Bronx to play the Yankees. So I figured I'd come out to the garage, throw the game on, pour a little something light, and record an episode. So last time I was drinking Michter's 10, which is 10-year age bourbon. Talked a lot about rye, so I figured I'd switch it up a little bit. Today we're going with a Japanese whiskey. This is Nikka coffee grain. I, I've always loved this bottle. I had it once a long, long time ago, and then I wasn't able to find it for a while. But it's stocked fairly regularly at my local liquor store, so you just kind of know where to look. Um, Not the cheapest bottle. It used to be around a $60 bottle. It's up into the low to mid 70s now, but it's super tasty, very light, uh, not too powerful. Let's see, 90 proof, so a little bit more than your average like Jack Daniels, Jim Beam type thing, which is always right around 80. But smooth drinking. So start off with a little sip. Cheers. Mm, I haven't had that in a while. It's really, really tasty. So if you watch the first episode, you know that my plan is to basically relax, have a pour, watch a movie or watch a game, just hang out and talk about it. So my favorite sports teams, and if you can see behind me all the Bills stuff, by far the Buffalo Bills are number one. I grew up in Niagara Falls, New York, just outside of Buffalo, was a season ticket holder for several years before I moved. Uh, Sabres, that's my cross to bear right now. They're just god awful. And I'm a Yankee fan, which generally, from what I've noticed, the Yankees are very similar to like the Dallas Cowboys. You either love them or you hate them. Uh, Growing up in Western New York, uh, there was nothing close. There's no Buffalo baseball team except for the AAA Bisons. When I lived there, we're affiliated with the Indians and now are with the Blue Jays. Uh, so we went to the next closest thing. We went to the state home team, and it was either the Yankees or the Mets. And I have a brother who's 7 years older than me. He was a Yankee fan, loved Don Mattingly growing up. The Yankees were awful in the 80s. Mattingly was a rookie in 83, retired in 95, never made the playoffs. So, or I'm sorry, made the playoffs never in 95, I believe, but never got to a World Series. Of course, he retires, and the very next year, the Yankees start a run of winning like 4 out of 5 World Series. Sucks for Donnie Baseball, but it's pretty cool for Yankee fans. Good time to be a fan. Especially for me, I was in my mid to late teens for that run. It was just a blast. But I got to be honest, I like those teams. They were lots of fun. This current team it can be frustrating at times. Aaron Boone is a tough manager to love. Um, Great Yankee. Hit the big walk-off homer against Wakefield against the Red Sox in the ALCS to send the Yankees to the World Series. Anytime you do that, you're a legend among Yankee fans. I mean, not only a walk-off homer to send the team to the World Series, but against the Red Sox in extra innings was one of my favorite sports moments. But as a coach, he's tough sometimes. It's tough to watch. But I was thinking this morning, which is what prompted me to decide to throw on the recording here, how fortunate people who are fans of the teams I'm fans of are. I mean, yeah, the Sabres bring us down a bit, but we got Josh Allen with the Bills and Aaron Judge with the Yankees. I mean, not only are they both the reigning MVPs, but they're actually professional athletes who are good people. It's not a lot of those. Uh, I do not follow the NBA, but I've heard amazing things about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA. I'm actually hoping they win Game 7 tonight, just because of what I've read about him as a person. But I mean, what a lot of people might not know um, about Judge and particularly about Josh Allen. I mean, if you only see what they say on ESPN, yeah, they'll throw up a good story every once in a while, but he's so much more than the MVP of the National Football League. This guy spends so much time at the Buffalo Children's Hospital, Oshai Children's Hospital. When he won MVP, uh, they showed him backstage, like on Twitter, Instagram. It wasn't like nationally televised or anything. You have to look for it to find it, but they showed him backstage. Somebody handed him a tablet, and it was a recording of a bunch of kids from Children's Hospital, people that he goes and visits, a lot of cancer patients and other long-term illness issues that they're in the hospital for a long time. So he sees them a couple of times because he goes regularly, and they're all congratulating him. And it just shows him getting all teary. But yeah, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, and there is a complete love affair between the city and Josh Allen. It started when his grandmother passed. He was it was during the season. And she passed on, I want to say, like a Friday, with a game coming right up in a day or two. And everybody knows that Oshai Children's Hospital is his favorite charity. So Bills Mafia, who, if you follow sports at all, you've probably heard of Bills Mafia, the fan base of the Bills, started donating money to Oshai Children's Hospital in increments of $17 because he's number 17. And the amount of money ended up being something obscene, like $3.5, $4 million that ended up being donated totally. Now that got boosted big because when Josh realized what was going on, he matched it. So now there is a Patricia Allen wing at Oshai Children's Hospital named for his grandmother. And ever since then, it's just been amazing. What he does in the community, just like as a thank you, for the community loving him and, making him feel welcome. I mean, he's a California kid who went to college in Wyoming, and Buffalo is his home. I don't know if there's ever been a better fit for a person, a professional athlete in a city. And there you go. 2-out double for Jazz Chisholm. But yeah, it's a good time to be a fan of the Yankees and the Bills. If you're a New York person, especially Western New York, there's a chance that you might like both of these teams, and just realize how lucky you are. And if you're not, Josh Allen and Aaron Judge are players that it doesn't matter if they're on your favorite team. They're players to admire, and definitely to watch in the field because they're amazing at what they do. They're both reigning MVPs, like I mentioned. So, I have players on other teams that I'm not fans of that I feel the same about. Mike Trout, who's always won. I mean, he's still a great ball player, but he has a lot of injury issues. Unfortunately, it's hard for him to stay on the field. But there's a lot of them. There's good guys out there, and a lot of people think that professional athletes, are just spoiled babies who are overpaid. And what I say to that, when I told my wife about the contract that Mike Trout signed years ago, when he was fully healthy, she said, no human being is worth that amount of money. And my answer is what it's always been. Athletes are worth what their owner is willing to pay them. You got to think there's somebody writing those checks who makes enough money having that player on their team to make it worth it. So, we're going to have a play at the plate. Oh, bad throw. Jazz is in there. Orioles scored 2 in the first. And he just got it to 2-1 with a 2-out double and then a single where the guy went to second on the throw home. Anyway, I digress. I interrupt myself because something's going on in the game on TV. There are plenty of decent people out there that are professional athletes. It's just you got to look. You got to find them. to a couple of my favorites, Josh and Judge. Oh, a little early, but for the sake of the pod, that's my excuse. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? I got up really early, mowed the lawn. Living in the South, you gotta either get up early or do it at dusk. It's just brutal outside if you try to do it in the middle of the day. Yeah, one of these episodes, I'll do a little tour. I'll take the phone off of the mount and walk around. But I got a lot of Josh Allen memorabilia because I just am such a fan of him as a player and as a person. Got a lot of old Bill stuff too. It's pretty fun. I know I talked about the pylon over my left shoulder here, signed by Fred Jackson. But yes, I got a few solid items. Here, I'll tilt up a little bit. You can see I got the famous Josh Hurdle picture up there above my bar mirror, which I named Believers Bar. Bill Levers. A little Bill Sports Bar thing up there that was bought for me by my brother-in-law. Got flags surrounding, like you can see the Sabres flag and one of the Bills flags over here. You can see one of my liquor cabinets in the corner over there. I have the liquor cabinet in the garage where I keep the majority of my stuff. Got a shelf under the bar here where I pulled a couple bottles from last episode. And then I got the inside shelf, which is where I keep the stuff that I don't want out here. Mostly because if I have friends over, I tend to start over pouring for people. And when you're talking about expensive bottles, it gets expensive quick. I will pull out a bottle, maybe two, but I don't want the whole shelf out here. I usually don't drink the good stuff unless I have a guest over. I like to share. Bourbon or whiskey in general, bourbon, rye, Japanese, whatever. I don't drink scotch. That's the only one I don't like, but I have friends who do. It's meant to be enjoyed slowly and sipped. It kind of forces you to relax, With beer, you can chug it. Mixed drinks, you just don't even realize how fast you're drinking them sometimes. Bourbon, whiskey just forces you to slow down, have conversation, enjoy it, sip, That's what I love about it. Life's too fast, Between work, sports, going out, whatever. It seems like you're always in a hurry. Bourbon's a good excuse to slow down and enjoy it. Love it. I know I always refer to it as bourbon. The old adage, all bourbon is whiskey, all whiskey is not bourbon. I have this tendency to refer to everything. Not if I'm talking about a specific bottle, but when I'm just talking, I always say bourbon. Pay no attention. So a lot of times to get something as smooth as this, you got to pay for something that's aged a lot, like something on shirt, Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, which God bless if you can find. Good luck. But there's a few lower priced bottles that are really nice. For example, one of the cheapest bottles in bourbon that is actually really tasty. Very old Bart. So this is one that you can find occasionally. It depends where you are. If you're in Kentucky, you can probably find it easily. You can find it on the shelf just about anywhere in the States, but not regularly. And look low, because believe it or not, it's a bottom shelf liquor. Used to be as low as like 10, $12. I think they're up in the 15 to 20 range now, but worth every penny. It is such a good pour. It's so rare to find a $20 bottle that you can drink neat or with an ice cube, or even a bunch of ice cubes, whatever floats your boat. My father-in-law, basically fills the cup with ice and then fills the glass to the brim, because the ice takes up a lot of space. I'm usually no ice or one ice cube, and then I just come up above the ice. It is what it is, you know. Some people like it one way, some people like it another. They say Pappy Van Winkle used to drink his bourbon with a twist of lemon and a little bit of, I think it was ginger ale. So no one's questioning the goat. Drink it the way you like it. But my only recommendation is to drink it slow. Enjoy it. Get all the little nuances that come along with it. I'm not one of those people who can tell you like, oh, it has hints of this and cherry, oak, leather. Like some of these reviews I read, I'm like, I don't have that palate. I just kind of look for the words that reviewers use in bourbons I like, and then I look for other bourbons that reviewers use those same words for. Little trick to finding things, new things, without really understanding the tasting notes that they're talking about. If you love something and they say it has cherry, vanilla, oak, and leather, you read another one that says it has those same tasting notes, you're probably going to like that other one. But a lot of tricks to finding new bottles. You can go, I mean, obviously, if you have friends who are into it, share. We do tastings. Me and a couple of my buddies. We haven't done one in a while. We're due. But everybody brings one bottle of something new or unique or hard to find. I'm hoping that at least somebody hasn't tried it before and gets to try something new. You get 4 or 5 guys together, get 4 or 5 pours. Not heavy because we don't want to, ruin our palates and get to the point of not being able to appreciate what we're drinking. We pour like half pours of what you would get at a bar, and we just sit around, talk, sip, talk about the bourbon, talk about life, talk about sports, talk about movies, talk about our kids. Like I said, bourbon is great because it gives you a reason to slow down and spend some time. So if you like any whiskey at all, I would suggest trying it this way. Uh, Rather than doing a shot, rather than mixing it with Coke or anything else, try it neat. Try it with a little bit of ice and just try to sip it slow. Uh, it'll give you some appreciation not only for the juice, but for the overall experience of just slowing down for a change. Relaxing. We don't do it enough. Salud. However, oh, it's not down here. I was going to say there are good things for mixing as well. If anybody out there has noticed the new, well, not new anymore, it was out for about a year, but the newest version of Crown Royal, they have a blackberry. It's a little sweet for my taste to drink straight, but I'll tell you what, in the summertime, pour a shot or two of that into a glass of lemonade. It is divine. It is so good. It's one of my wife's favorite summertime drinks. And when we go, if we go to the beach or anything like that, I always bring a bottle of Crown Blackberry. Head to the local store, get a gallon of lemonade, and set. It's so good. Wow, I can see that every day. Ground ball back to the pitcher, hard ground ball back to the pitcher. It hits him like in the belly almost. He's looking around, he's looking up in the air, looking down. He finally finds it by his feet and still has time to pick it up and fire to first for the out. So Yankees have been on an absolute slide lately. Won one game a couple days ago, but they had a run where they had scored in like 3-4 games. They kept getting shut out. The started with the hated Red Sox, and then just continued with the Angels, who aren't even that good. I mean, they're not horrible. They got a few bats, a couple of decent arms, but nothing that should be shutting the Yankees out. it was just a big slump that everybody hit at the same time, which I guess, you know, isn't a bad way to do it. Get a couple, you take a couple L's, but if everybody slumps at the same time, hopefully everybody's hot at the same time too when you go on a run. I've been really intrigued by the Mets this year. I'm not that Yankee fan who hates the Mets. A lot of Yankee fans hate the Mets. Those are generally people who live in the city. But Soto went there, which a lot of Yankee fans were upset by. I wasn't. I wish he would have stayed with the Yankees, but I mean, he got paid obscene amount of money, and with that, instead of signing him, the Yankees went out and signed Max Fried, who is a Cy Young candidate so far. And got a couple more pieces. Paul Goldschmidt. Yeah, he's a little over the hill maybe, but I mean, he's having a fantastic season. You know, they built the team. So, and even without Garrett Cole, I mean, former Cy Young, you know, the unquestioned ace of that staff, he's out for the year. He didn't pitch at all this year. He got hurt, in the offseason. And still looking good. First place team as we get into June, or into late June, I should say, almost a draw. But the Mets, I love Pete Alonso. He was a free agent in this past season, and I had hopes for him. I was hoping the Yankees would go get him, especially when we lost out on Soto. I thought maybe the Mets wouldn't be able to sign him, but they figured it out. So, and Francisco Lindor is also hard to not like. He's a good player. They're a fun team. I got a lot of Philly fans that are my friends, so I follow the Phillies a little bit too, and the Eagles. Philly Philly fans are awesome. They get a bad rep, but it just depends on the fans. There's bad Bills fans too. There's definitely bad Yankee fans, but the good ones are awesome. Philly fans just remind me so much of Buffalo fans. They're just super passionate, love their teams. You know, it's and I feel the same way about Cleveland fans. I mean, the Cleveland Browns haven't been good in forever, but I identify with that because the Bills had a 19-year playoff drought. They're just on the other side of Lake Erie from them, so similar people, passionate, love their teams. I think of sports a lot like I think of urban. It's I don't have a problem with hanging out with people, fans of other teams, and talking about their team, and them talking to me, let me talk about my team. We learn a little bit about each other. We learn little bit about the players on our favorite teams. It's just a fun time. If you only talk to people who are like-minded, you don't learn anything. That's another problem that we have these days. People only want to live in an echo chamber. But how do you learn anything? How do you learn what the next good pour is? How do you learn that a guy on another team that you don't follow is just a fantastic human being? How do you learn about food? That's another one I like. I love good food. I love to travel and try new things. When I was up in Philly for a travel hockey tournament with my daughter, my oldest, I was speaking to a couple of my Philly guys, that live down here in the South now. I'm like, where do I need to go? This is where I am. What do I need to try? And everybody knows, if you know anything about Philly, Pat's and Geno's are the two big cheesesteak places. But there's others. There's other things to eat too. I mean, of course, you go to Philly, you want to get cheesesteak. It's what it's known for. You go to Buffalo, you want to get wings. That's what it's known for. But if you're in Buffalo and you've already had the wings, get a beef on wick. It's a roast beef sandwich on a Kemmel roll. And yes, what's Kemmel? It's basically a seed, but there's like coarse salt on the top of the bun and these Kemmel seeds. And a lot of the places like soak the bun in the au jus from the roast beef. Oh my goodness, it is so good. I'm not a horseradish guy. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I just don't like the taste of it. But horseradish on a beef on wick is the way to go for most people. If you like it, if not, try it. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. The the big place currently is a place called Barville. The main original is in East Aurora, which is a little outside of Buffalo. Um, but you can get a beef on wick just about anywhere in Buffalo. Any bar and grill. Lots of, not chains, but like, lots of good restaurants have them. But in Philly, I went to a place uh, out of the way, off the beaten path. It was closer to where we were staying. We were staying in the suburb. Just had phenomenal meal. I mean, everything, everything's good. If you go to like a mom and pop kind of family owned restaurant, you just get such good food. But yeah, another suggestion along with my drink bourbon slow and enjoy it. If you're out of town, don't eat it Chick-fil-A or McDonald's. You can get that at home. Try something local. Expand your palate. Another thing I always do is I always check out the liquor stores, just because you never know what's going to be available in another town that you can't get at home. Sometimes something local, sometimes not so much local, but just something you can't find. Like, here's one. As a Bills fan, I had to get this. This is Mafia Bourbon. It's by a distillery with the funnest name I've ever heard. As you can see, there is a rooster, and it's in the Bills Zubas color, but there's a rooster. And if you notice, he only got 1 foot. So the distillery is 1 foot cock. I just thought that was pretty humorous. But this Mafia bourbon's pretty damn good. As you can see, I have worked through quite a bit of it already, and I just got this a few months ago. So I've been drinking this just as what I refer to as a daily drinker. I don't drink daily, but it's just something that I'll drink by myself if I want to drink. If we're having a cookout and I want bourbon instead of beer, or I'm just in the mood to have a pour when I watch a game at night, relax after work, whatever it may be. Yeah, I've been working on that one for a bit. It's really good. It's about a $40 bottle. Nothing extravagant, but it's tasty. Well, just about out here. And as always, when the whiskey's gone, it's time to move on. So thanks for joining me for another episode of Whiskey Watch, and we will be doing another one of these real soon. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.